friends, welcome back to the Craft Castle. We have a fun little and easy project for us to work on with our Cricuts. During the Christmas and holiday season, you will see like a lot of laser cut and engraved ornaments. And I know that there is a lot of crafters out there that A, just don't want the laser cutter, or B, wish they had it, but they don't. I am here to tell you that you can make cardstock ornaments that look just as amazing as that laser cut ones, and they're easy to make. Yes, this is going to be so easy to make. This is all silver mirror cardstock found in my cardstock warehouse. It is so reflective that it honestly reminds you of actual mirror silver acrylic. We have a little bit of print then cut right here. And then I used vinyl for the top of this for the names. I used vinyl because you're not going to want to hand glue all these small little letters. That would take you a long time. We're going to make this an easy, quick, fun project. Do you want to get started? By the time we're done with this, you're going to have the cutest little holiday ornament. Just saying. You're going to want to make some for all your friends and family. All right, let's get started. The very first thing you want to do is open up Cricut Design Space, and you're going to go over here into this little spot right here where it says New Project. Just click on that New Project. The reason why this is going to be so quick and easy is because I actually have the SVG file already created in my cardstock warehouse. I mean, you're already going to be there getting the mirror silver cardstock. So when you get that mirror silver cardstock, just swipe up that SVG file and then come back to me and we can make it together. So when that happens, you're going to go over here into upload and upload image. You're going to find that downloaded SVG file that you got from my cardstock shop, which for me is right here. All I'm going to do is drag and drop it into the folder right here. Okay, I already have it named. You can rename this if you want. Then all you want to do is press upload. So for this project, let's just click on this little guy right here. And then we're going to go add to canvas. Okay, so for this file, I have created 6 different gingerbreads because, you know, families are all different, right? We got some baby girls, baby boys. We got some little girl and a boy, and then we have mama and daddy up on top. So you can create this entire baking sheet to fit your needs. Okay, so I'm just gonna make this bigger, just a little bit bigger. You don't have to make it bigger if you don't want to. Make it the size that you want to for your Christmas tree. Okay, when I have it resized, I forgot to tell you, when you resize this, you always want to make sure that this right here is locked. You don't want to distort anything you have going on. Okay, when you have it resized, I'm going to right click and I'm going to press ungroup. So for this project, you will notice in my original one, I do not have a hole put in to the top of mine. The reason I've chose to go this route is because I think putting a hole at the top to string would kind of take away from the look of this. If you wanted to add a hole, you could when we go to assemble this. But all I'm going to do is I'm going to put the string in between 2 layers of cardstock. So when you do that, what you want to do is you want to go over here into your layers file. You want to find the very back piece, this piece right here. We're going to Command D, which is duplicate. A new one's going to pop up. Now, when we cut this, we are going to want to sandwich it back in together with the shininess to be on the front of it, or I guess the back of it of what you can see. So when we have duplicated this, you want to go over here into flip and flip horizontally. So the next thing you're going to do is build your cookie sheet family. So you're going to arrange all of your gingerbread people inside of your baking sheet. You want to remember that this inside, it's going to be hard to tell, but you see this like rounded rectangle right here. You want all of what you're putting into your baking sheet to fit inside of this smaller rectangle. Everything that's going to be over here on the edges or down here, that is going to be like your second layer of your foil. It's going to be hard to see because it's so reflective. But there's like another layer that we glue on here. So you want to make sure that it fits all inside of that smaller rectangle. Okay, let's just put in, I'm going to do a mama and a daddy. Okay, so I am just going to do 4 gingerbread people. I got a mama, a daddy, and then I have like my little guy and my daughter. So I don't need these, so I'm just gonna select them and press delete. Okay, you're gonna wanna resize these to fit inside your baking sheet. So we're gonna resize them together. Now, I've created this file to technically, you could get white plain cardstock, craft cardstock, and then you would just need, I would probably use like the dark red wine glitter from my cardstock shop. You could cut this out. However, I am not going to do that because these little gingerbread guys are going to be so small. They're going to be so small and they're going to be a pain in the butt to assemble later. It's just not, I want to make things quick and easy for you and for me too. So instead of cutting all of these small little layers and gluing them, I'm just going to click on one and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to press flatten. We are going to be doing a print thin cut. So I'm going to do my next one, flatten. Doing my next gingerbread, flatten. Clicking my last one and flatten. So you're going to want to individually flatten all of your gingerbread guys or your gingerbread characters. The next step that you want to do is we're going to insert a text box and you are going to want to put the names in. We want to personalize this. So let's do like mom, dad, and I'll just do another one for me. Pack, Trin and Pack, just like that. Okay, so I move this up here. Now what you want to do is select the font. I always say this for every single video. The choosing of a font is the hardest part of any project and it's the most time consuming. If you do not have a favorite font, best believe you will be sitting here trying to pick a font for a long time. I personally don't have a font, which is probably why it takes me forever. So you just want to pick a font, any font. I like this one. When you have found one, I'm using the DTC Bikini Babe. This is a Cricut Access font. And then when you're done doing that, we can just click out of that. Okay, so for this, I want to make each one of these names individual. So I'm going to come up here into advanced and I'm going to ungroup to lines. That means that mom is its own line, dad's its own line. Do you see how now everything is ungrouped to itself? Then what you're going to want to do is like, let's drag in mom. Now, obviously mom is going to be way too big. So let's just like make this smaller. And I kind of want I like the name to be tilted a little bit. So instead of, see how when I go over into the corner, you see that line and it's like this is just going to make it bigger or smaller. If you want to rotate it, hover outside of that a little bit. You see how now that line is like a C? Now what we're going to be able to do is just rotate it a little bit. Remember, everything that's inside this smaller little rectangle, that is what is going to fit on our finished product. So if it does not fit in Design Space, it will not fit when you go to cut this. Just remember that. So I'm going to drag in dad and resize this. You're going to want to do this with all the names that you are using for your project. All right, so all 4 of my gingerbread family characters are in there. All 4 of the names are also going to fit into my finished cookie sheet because it's all fitting inside of that rectangle. Now there is one important step that we have not done yet, and that is with the names that we've created. So clicking on one name, what you want to do is you want to come down here to combine and then weld. It will look like nothing happened. However, let's zoom in. You don't have to zoom in. I'm just going to zoom in. My daughter's name. Do you see how this R hooks in to the I and you see this line right here? Same thing with the A. Do you see how you hit that A and there is a line right here? The Cricut, when you go to cut this, will actually cut that line. So what will happen is you'll have a letter that will look funky monkey when it's done cutting. So in order to avoid that, A, make sure that your spelling is correct. You want to click whatever it is, that the name that you're using, go down here to combine, and then weld. So do you see how now there's no line that's right here and there's no line that's in between here? That means that your Cricut is going to go around that. So we want to avoid the lines. Same thing like with my son's name. You see like there's a line right here and a line right here. Let's click his name. We're going to combine and then weld. And now that line is gone. Perfect. We haven't done dad yet. So we just want to click on dad, combine, and then weld. And that, my friends, is the designing of this ornament. That was that quick and that easy, and we are moving and grooving. Okay, now all you want to do is just press make. Okay, for some weird reason, my print and cut is set to 11 by 17. If this is you too, all you do need to do is go over here into material size, click this, and then I'm just gonna do a standard letter. Okay, for this project, I am using high gloss cardstock. All the supplies that I use are also linked in the description of this video. I did not say that before, so I'm just gonna say that now. But I'm using high gloss cardstock for this project. And I think that it just creates like it just looks finished. It looks like a very finished piece when you have it, especially because we're already using shiny cardstock. Just to give it a little bit more shine, we're gonna do that. Then all we're gonna need is a little bit of shiny mirror cardstock and then your choice of vinyl. Okay, and then all you wanna do is press send to printer, and I am going to choose the printer. So while we wait for our gingerbreads to print, now all you need to do is pull your cardstock and your vinyl, and let's get to cutting. Okay, so here is my gingerbread family. Now I am using high gloss cardstock, remember? Sometimes my Cricut doesn't like to read the registration marks, so I always just use a white crayon and I'm gonna rub it over the top of my registration marks. This just takes the shininess out of the marks so your Cricuts can better read it. All we wanna do is use one mat. We're gonna load in our cardstock. Top left for Cricuts, and then you just want to put this in. Now for the thick shiny cardstock that I use, I like to do Cardstock Plus. I'm going to do the fast cut mode, and then I'm going to press the C button. I always have 2 mats for every project, so while this one's cutting, I prep the next mat. The next mat is going to be that mirror silver, so here it is right here. And then you just need like a small little piece of vinyl for your third mat. Also, at this point in time, you will want to heat up your hot glue gun just so it is ready to go. Now look at this, and like this print and cut, look at how perfect that was. That white crayon really does do a huge difference on your print and cut quality. Okay, we're gonna add in our silver mirror. Okay, we just wanna add in the vinyl. Make sure and change your cut settings on your Cricut for your vinyl. All right, there is our piece of vinyl. We're gonna start with the hard part first. The hard part is for me, is weeding out the vinyl. So just gonna cut away all the excess because we can save this for another time. And then you just want to weed away everything you do not want. So I don't want the large outside piece, so I'm just gonna weed it away. We also wanna weed out the insides of the names. Then all you want to do is take a little bit of transfer tape. This is just old transfer tape that I've used before for other projects. Transfer tape is reusable until it's not sticky anymore. So just know this transfer tape is not a one-time use thing. We are going to take the backing off our transfer tape. Let's just put this on here. And we just want to burnish it together. Okay, set this over to the side for right now. Okay, so for the very back piece, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip this over. This is going to be our very back piece. Now when we're done, the back is going to have the shininess. So we are gonna glue on top of this. Okay, taking some string, because I do not want to have a hole, I'm just gonna make my string flat. Using some hot glue, I'm just gonna do a small little dot at the very top of my cookie sheet, at top middle. Then I'm going to put my string onto my piece of hot glue that I've just laid down. We're just going to flatten that down. Okay, this right here is the direct middle of my sheet. I put my string down just like this. Okay, now what you want to do is taking this portion. This is your next piece for this. I'm going to use hot glue again, and I'm just going to do a little bit around the entire outside area. I don't really care about the inside portion. I'm just going to do the outside. Just like that. Lay this on top, making sure it's nice and aligned on there. Okay, then all you want to do is taking your top, your very top piece. I'm just going to put it on the very top right here and at the very bottom of those big spots. And flip this over, doing the same thing. We are just going to line this up so they're just aligned perfectly. Look at that. Okay, doesn't look like much, but it is coming together, and it's coming together fairly quick. Now I used hot glue so you don't see the glue marks when you're done with the glue of this. Now, same thing, we're just gonna take our little gingerbread people. I'm gonna use hot glue. We're just only using hot glue for this project, and I'm gonna use a little bit of hot glue on the back and place it on there. And you know what's funny, I was not paying attention. This is supposed to be the dad, this is supposed to be the little boy, but that's okay because I could move my letters around, making sure that it all works out correct. This next step is really important. If you used high gloss cardstock like I did, if you put this transfer tape onto the high gloss cardstock, what's going to happen is the transfer tape is going to pick up your ink. So when you lay down your names, make sure you do not put that transfer tape on top of your glossy gingerbread people, because you will be left with a gingerbread person that does not look cute. So all I'm doing is trimmed off one name. I'm going to roll this over and take off the backing of my decal. Okay, when you put this on here, you want to make sure that you put it on without touching your gingerbread people. So we're just going to put it on there just gently, making sure we're avoiding all the gingerbread people and rolling it off. See that? If in fact you did touch your gingerbread and the ink came off, then all you would have to do is reprint, cut, and then you could just peel off your gingerbread guys and glue it back on there. That is an option. I had to do that the other day when I was making my original one for the mom because I accidentally got a little crazy and took off some paint. Okay, you want to do this for every single name. I've trimmed up a little bit, making sure we don't touch anything of the printed gingerbread. Oh, see, look, I let go of my transfer tape. You can see that it peeled up just a little bit right there. I mean, it's not terrible. It would drive me crazy if I was gifting this to someone, so I would definitely reprint, and then you would just take this off and put your new one on there. See, and I did perfect. I did perfect on every single one besides my son's. My son's, I have a little bit left over right here. That's okay. You know what? It's not going to kill me if I leave it on there. It's so little. Will anyone notice? If I did not point that out, would you have noticed that I did that right there? So now you know. I wasn't joking. When you put on that transfer tape, it does come up just a little bit. So to avoid that, make sure just to avoid your transfer tape from your printed gingerbreads. Okay, and that's it. That is your finished ornament. Look at how stinking cute that is. And these were super easy to make, right? Very easy to make. They look like an acrylic ornament, but this is all cardstock. We just made this in all cardstock, and they look absolutely fabulous. All right, y'all, I sure hope I inspired you to create, and I'll see you later.